Let's go, Pike. Let's go, Pike.
Got Arthur out there in the crowd.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Reverend Sour Mash Whiskey 100 and the Window World 125 for the Z-Max Cars Tour presented by Sound Gear here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Those of you who don't know me, I'm James Pike. I'm normally one of the pit reporters for the broadcast of the series on Flow Racing. Today I'm doing my best impersonation of a Mike Ford and Matt Humphrey and running comms for the series, which means I'll also be helping to moderate our press conferences in conjunction with the team at SMI. So if you've got questions from the series side throughout the course of the afternoon or evening, feel free to come ask me. I either know the answer or know somebody that does. We are now joined by the driver of the best constructionrepair.net and or whoever else you'd like to add on top of that.
Yeah, normally the best repair company, Toyota, but this weekend, the Folsom Fence Repair, Toyota, for Lead Point Performance.
Brenden Queen, who is also the defending winner of the Window World 125. So, Brenden, you've talked a little bit about this in advance of this race, how this race and your win here sort of kick-started your year and changed things. So as you look back on the past 365 days, how has your experience here last year changed your career, your life, just everything?
I mean, I'm getting ready to make a truck series start here this week, and I don't think that happens if, we don't win this race last year. And I'm not saying this was the only reason it happened, but it definitely gave us the momentum heading into the summer where we were able to win the Hampton Heat and a bunch more Cars Tour races, the Thanksgiving Classic, all those fun nights we had, winning those, the Waffle House nights, and everything just happened for a reason and came together. But I tell everybody it's bittersweet that it's all gonna come back here for the truck debut, so it just made sense.
Alrighty, we'll open it up to the floor for questions. As always, please state your name and affiliation, and we'll get a mic to you or a hand to you or something as soon as possible, and we'll get you the opportunity to say stuff. Let's start with Mr. Chase Folsom. We're getting a mic too. It's coming.
Chase Folsom, FrontStretch.com. Brenden, you mentioned the truck start you're going to make this Saturday. Obviously, you'll make your first laps on track Friday afternoon for practice, pending weather. Having run 2 late model stock car races here in the past on the old surface and now again tonight on the new one, what will you be able to take from the races here in the late model that will transfer to the truck, and especially on the new surface?
I think it's just, more seat time and laps around a new pavement. Obviously, kind of what we had the last 2 years is totally different with the pavement. You kind of got to throw that out the window. But the overall, laps around the track's still the same. It just has more grip. The character's still there. The uphill down the back, the downhill down the front, all that is still the same. So I think, being able to run this late mile race is going to give me extra laps that some of those guys don't even have on the new pavement. And then if we do have weather Friday and Saturday, it's possible the first lap of the truck, so for the trucks will be green flags. So I think, I was looking at it. Well, that's kind of bad for me because I've never even drove a truck off pit road. So, but I'm looking at the positive of if it does work that way, I do have a race tonight that I'm going to have on this pavement that they don't. So I think it's going to be very beneficial to be in the late model race, only because we're going to see what the groove does, how it widens, if it becomes multiple groove racing, single file, all that stuff, those truck people or the truck guys are not going to know until pretty much the race gets going. Unless I'm sure they're watching. You're going to be watching our race, but driving and watching it are 2 different things.
Steve Wilson, SpeedwayDigest.com. So you're now the second driver that has won a race here that is now getting ready to take on the trucks. Bubba Pollard won last year. What has your experience been like kind of going through that process as he did to get ready for Richmond, but you're getting to come back at a place where you won it?
Yeah, that makes it really special. This place is going to always be special to me for multiple reasons, and not just to win, but now making my truck series debut here. But I've worked really hard with TRD, everybody at Toyota, getting me on a more regular workout program and nutrition and stuff like that. And then working with Tricon, getting into TRD Sim, been in there twice, got to run, Wilkesboro with it. They added a grip to it to make it like the new pavement after their tire test. So pretty close to what I think it is in real life. And then also doing pit stop practice with Tricon. All that's been kind of my preparation work on that side of it. And then like you said, it is confidence. Coming to a place that you've won at, because I could have made my truck debut at a track I've never seen. So going to somewhere that's a little bit familiar is going to help, in a tremendous amount of ways.
Brenden, we talked a few minutes ago about the difference in the pavement from last year to this year and how much different the track is going to drive with the new surface. Now that the tire wear isn't really going to be a factor like it was the last 2 years, how does your strategy going into the race change?
Is that for tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
I think, last year you were able to kind of manage your race and fall back a little bit. Like I started on the pole, I rode third or fourth, and just kind of played the race out. Now I think you can run hard every lap, so you need to start up front. You need to get track position early, and I think it's going to be hard to pass. So, I think being on the pole this year probably means more than last year, honestly. I mean, it always is nice to start up front in these Cars Tour races because it's so tough, but the field's gotten a lot tougher, a lot closer together, and I just think, track position's going to win the race tonight.
Will Bellamy, Racing America. With the little bit of practice you guys did have out there today, do you feel like this maybe kind of gives you a little bit of advantage or a little bit of leg up on these truck guys that haven't even seen this place yet?
I do, for sure. Like I said, that's something you can't buy, is the laps that we had today and we're going to have tonight. I will say the track was totally different from the practice a couple weeks ago to today. I mean, the track was like a night and day difference. We were really loose today, and when we were here at the test, we didn't have that kind of problem. So I don't really know how the racing can go tonight. I think the track has taken a turn since the rain, and I don't know if it's raining yet, but it was getting ready to rain, it looked like. So might not even qualify, so the track's going to be going through another transition when the race starts if we don't get any more on track till then.
Brenden, you guys obviously haven't had the start to the year that you would have hoped. You've had some bad luck and some mechanical issues along the way. After a second place running last time out at Ace, you come to a track that you have won before. So how nice is it to be at a place like this where you've had success to try to turn your season around?
Well, it's definitely been a crazy start to the year. We've had a bad race, then we ran good, and a bad race, and we run good. It just hasn't been consistent like we thought it would be, and we not from lack of effort. Those guys have been working so hard at Elite Pulling Performance to bring fast cars every week. We've been fast every week, just stuff hasn't gone our way, and had a tough break at Goodyear racing for the lead and cut a tire down, and felt like that was probably a night that we probably could have won the race at the end. It was all lining up, and it just wasn't meant to be. But I predicted that if I had to pick where my first win would be, I picked Wilkesboro this year because of last year being the first win, and it's leading up to it. So I wasn't wrong on not winning before then. So hopefully I'm right about winning tonight.
Oh yeah, there we go. Two very different skill sets when you look at the pavement last year compared to the new asphalt this year. When you look at those two different kinds of tracks, what sort of skills does old pavement test, and what sort of skills does a new pavement like this put into play?
So I love old pavement. I think that separates the drivers from the rent rides. You say, I mean, I'm not sugarcoating it, but the low grip takes a lot of discipline, and not everybody can drive it because you have to manage your throttle, manage your tires. There's so much that goes into it. When you come to a place that's got fresh grip, anybody can just hit the gas, and the track's got character, but for the most part, you don't have to worry about tire wear, and you're going to be just wide open all night long. But what I like about it is you know, I've kind of been known for my low grip racing, but then I'm like, man, we went to Tri-County and, you know, led every lap last year and almost, should have, probably woulda, coulda won Dominion on a high grip track. And I think, you know, our team's good enough to win everywhere. And I wanted to prove last year that I could win on both surfaces, which we did. And, you know, I'm looking forward to racing on the fresh grip because I think our cars are good enough to win there too. But as a driver, it's hard for me to not say I like low grip more just because there's so much more I can do, you know, from the seat to make it to the end and have a shot to win, where I think like tonight you really have to stay in position all night.
So you feel like is it just going to be absolute 100% on the chip all the way? How do you feel like it's going to race tonight?
Yeah, I think truck's a little bit slower than we were at the test just because of the the rain and everything. But I definitely think there's no riding. Like you're gonna stay getting after it like qualifying all night long. So I'm interested to see how the race pace goes because nobody's really ran longer than 10 laps probably at a time. But it'll be interesting to see. I think there will be some sliding around with the harder tire on the right, and that could open up the door to having some more side-by-side racing. But I think you're gonna have to make the pass quick. You're not gonna be able to hang side-by-side, or somebody's gonna get loose.
This is the third year of you guys coming here in the Cars Tour, and at this point, this event gets treated like a Super Bowl for you guys. But looking back on the first event here, it was pretty much a miracle that this track was even hosting a race again. Did you ever think that night that this event would become what it is today?
I didn't. Well, actually, I take it back. I did. When I raced the revival race, I was in my family car, so that was a special night for me anyways, and we ended up having the onboard camera just because we qualified 5th, and that was the guy that got chose to run the camera, and that was kind of the night that really kind of put me to where I felt like I could come run in the tour more regular than, you know, running at my home track. And that night, I don't think you can ever recreate the revival race. Like the energy was just unbelievable. And like, I know we were packed last year, we're gonna be packed tonight. Hopefully the weather doesn't, you know, interfere with that. But I was walking from the autograph session to the grid at the revival race, and like, it was like NASCAR in the 1990s. Like, you had that feel back of like, this place was sold out, standing room only, and it was race fans everywhere you looked. And I think that showed me right there like how important this racetrack was. And I never got to see it run because I was born in '97. So to be able to come back and say I made laps on that old pavement was special. And then now it's a crown jewel, and to say we've won won this race as a crown jewel is cool. And I got the moonshine still forever.
I just want to expand upon something that James had said earlier about this new pavement and just get your opinion on it. When Steve Swift talked the other day, he said that they have moved what they feel Carl Larson's line a little bit up the racetrack, and the surface itself is losing about 9 to 10% grip over last year. Are you seeing that right now, and where do you feel that the lines are running at this moment?
I definitely think the bottom in 1 and 2 is not as good as last year. Like, I think you got to be up a little bit. You can kind of see where it's darkened up. 3 and 4 is not too much different. I think the biggest difference in 3 and 4 is, like, last year I was putting my lefts on the concrete, and that was where a lot of grip was. Like, this year there's so much grip on the track, I don't think you really need to be on the concrete because it just bogs you up. You really just want the car to free roll, and any slip is losing momentum on this pavement. You're going so fast. So a lot of free roll, a lot of just making sure you're smooth back to the gas and not slipping, because once you slip the tire, your lap's, you know, almost killed. So 1 and 2 stayed up a little higher than I thought. I was interested to see if it would move back down, and it might in the race, but I think right now it's kind of the middle groove down there.
Any more questions for Brenden? All righty, Brenden, thanks as always for the time.